Hey Pros and Joes, I'm here today with my good friend Tyler Wooldridge. I've known this guy for a long time, excellent golfer, played collegiate golf at Grand Canyon University, made a run as a professional. I think you've got your AM status back. Now you're caddying on Korn Ferry Tour for Tain Lee.
Yep.
And Tyler's here, he's gonna show us some shots. We've been friends for a long time. I've got to caddy for him in some of his events. Remarkable player. I was with him when he shot 60, which I think that was some kind of course record at the time. And but we're out here, want to play and see some shots, ask you some questions. Obviously, caddying on Korn Ferry Tour, you probably have played in some pro-ams.
Yep.
And so tell me what that's like. What are the things that you see? So Pros and Joes would like to know, what are the things that you see that amateurs do or don't do that a professional, someone that's a very accomplished player, the things that they do that they wouldn't try, and you get around these AMs and these pro-ams that, have paid their way in, they're getting the experience, but you've probably seen a lot. You probably have some funny stories. We probably can't go into all those, or maybe you don't want to disclose some of those to get you in trouble. But what do you see with amateurs versus the pros?
Well, I would say the main thing is club selection, and then also reading the lies that they have. And when they're in trouble, they tend to not get out of trouble, versus the pros, if they're in a situation that, it's going to be really hard to make a par, certain scenarios, they're going to take their medicine and get out of that situation with the least amount of strokes possible. But the AM might try and attempt that, which then compounds their errors and makes it much harder to shoot a good score.
So are there times when a pro will say, hey, if I get out of here with a bogey, that's okay?
Yeah, for sure. That happens all the time out there. They just don't want to compound their errors. A bogey's easy, but a double or triple, that's hard to bounce back from, because then you need 2 or 3 birdies just to counterbalance those scores. But a bogey, they're making tons of birdies out there, so they know it's not going to hurt them.
Right, and if you're an AM, if you're an average Joe, you might make a birdie every 2 or 3 rounds. So if I get 2 or 3 doubles, there's no hope, right? So minimize the damages.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one thing we're talking about in terms of lies. Something like this lie that we have right here over this bunker. This is a shot that, most of the pros, they're happy if they just get it on the green and 2-putt.
Yeah, let's get a look at these lies. Let's take a look. So we're right. So this grass is not what you would call ideal. Like
yeah, it's definitely not. It's moist, but also very firm because it's cold out. And then there's quite a few divots as you see throughout this, so it's hard to get really any good lie in this scenario. And going over a bunker here, most of the amateurs would chunk it right into the bunker, leaving themselves another difficult shot.
Have you been watching me play? Are you judging me? I might have chunked one into the bunker a few times.
But the other thing is, too, with this lie, they'll thin it, because it's very hard to just get on the ball. To get on this ball and make solid contact is very hard. That most professionals aren't even going to try and hit this like a normal shot. They're going to play it as a bunker shot, to where they enter just behind the ball and try and get some loft on it, but they're not trying to get it close, they're just trying to get it onto the green and 2-putt. Which this shot, playing it that way, is not very difficult, but when you try and hit ball first and hit it perfectly, it's almost impossible, because you do have the bunker to carry, but then there's a down slope that's feeding off and away from the green. So just to hit on the green, hitting this ball first would be very, very hard, no matter how good your skill set is, even for a professional player.
That's every player's dream. You're out here and it's 50 degrees in this cold Arizona morning. We got hard pan. Well, it's kind of like wet hard pan, no grass. It's hard to get the bounce of the club up under this ball. So
and the other thing that makes it hard too is that there's clumps behind it. It's not a smooth surface as well, so it's hard to get a lie that you can even get on the ball.
So you're saying you're just going to play this like a normal bunker shot, hit a couple inches behind the ball, face
Correct.
open?
Mm-hmm. And just with a committed swing, so a firm swing through the ball, just so I make sure to get through the ground. If you're timid with it and you decel, you're going to chunk it and it's going to go right into that bunker, leaving you a downslope lie to a pin that's impossible from that point. Even out of this bunker, most pros are happy getting it up and down in 3 shots from there, let alone from right here.
I see we had this guy decide he's going to mow he wanted to be part of Pros and Joes. I guess this guy wanted to be famous. He's mowing the green for us.
Yeah.
That's nice. You don't You don't often get where a guy's going to come into your camera view and mow the greens for you. I mean, let's get out of the way. Give this guy his moment of fame. So, you know, appreciate the groundskeeper. They're doing their job, working hard. Have you ever been on one of those mowers?
I have not.
I haven't either. My buddy Kent Chase, he was teaching me about the wrap cut the other day, and he was talking about this Jacobson reel mower, and I said, Kent, I've never mowed the greens like you. So I was just wondering if that's like something that the tour guys have to do, if you have to mow the greens as some kind of rookie hazing.
We don't run into this ever.
Never? Well, here we go.
They'll follow behind the last group sometimes.
He just threw that flag like he was angry.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
He doesn't want to be filmed.
Here we go. I wish I had that mower for my front yard. It would be a lot easier.
That'd be nice.
Well, in a minute, we're going to see some shots. So while we're waiting for this guy, Tyler, any good am stories? We don't have to name names, but anything that stood out, or how about this one? Like, I always wonder. I've never played in a pro-am, but I've always thought about putting up the money and getting in one just for the experience and the thrill. I've always thought, how would I behave? Would I try to keep up with the pro, even though there's no way? Because, like, you know, do they get to play different tees? Do they play forward?
They play up quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
So
it doesn't hurt their egos much. They don't quite
right.
realize the difference.
Well, when they hit a drive past the pro from their tees, do they talk smack, or do they? What's that like?
I don't even know if I recall that ever happening. So
even from their tees, they don't.
I don't think that's happened in any of our programs that I've seen.
Is it a format? Is it more of a net?
Yeah, it's a scramble format.
Oh, it's a scramble.
Yeah.
So
they call it a shamble, really, I guess. So they play from the best shot off the tees, and on the par threes they can take the pros ball as well. But the pros score will count, but they play their own ball at that point.
Oh, got it.
So, but it's always a little different depending.
Do they get handicaps?
Sometimes yes.
Do you ever get a really good player in the pro-am? Has there ever been a guy like you're like, wow, that guy could play?
No, but there's been some people that their handicap's a lot better than what they said.
We call that a Hollywood handicap, or the cocktail handicap. Yeah. I run into that a lot. Like,
there were a few guys we saw that were saying they were 15s, but they were probably scratch, I would say. So it was funny. They're getting almost a pop a hole.
Oh, and they were good.
They were good.
See, I see it at the club a lot the other way. I see guys that are a 15 that say they're a 6, and then you go out.
That's better for you, though.
Oh wait, it's way better for me. It's like how are you a 6? Yeah. And it's good unless you're on their, you get teamed up with them and you're like, what? How are you a 4 and you shot 84, and I'm a 12 and I shot 84?
It's just a bad
Who
day.
helped the team more? All right, looks like we've got our facility team out of the way. So again, we're going to go back to this. Tyler, you've got this prison lie. We'll call it a prison lie.
Yeah,
Let me adjust the camera a little bit so that I can get a nice angle. Make sure we can see. All right, there we go.
And then with a shot like this, I'm not trying to get it close. That's not the point of this. The point is to get it on the green and 2-putt and get out of here with your bogey. Especially with this lie. It's a little downslope and get some clumps of grass behind it. Very muddy right here, but also very firm. So this is the type of lie that I'm going to play as a bunker shot. Just trying to hit it nice and high, come up soft, land on the green, roll it a little bit past the pin, but I'm trying to land it pin high, so I alleviate going short. If it were to land just a touch short of the pin high, it's going to hit the downslope and bounce on the green for me. But
all right, let's see it.
Key with this shot, though, is definitely to stay committed and swing through the ball. A lot of the amateurs will decel, therefore chunking it. Because it is a muddy lie, the leading edge is going to hit the ground first, and stop the club. So you definitely need to accelerate through the ball when hitting this shot as well.
Wow, that's a good shot right on the center of the green.
So just took a little divot there, hitting down through the ball, making sure to get the elevation, but playing it just as I would a bunker shot. So it's a very simple shot if you play it that way, but if you try and hit ball first, you're gonna skull it, chunk it. As you can see, I'll show you with how soft this ground is, you can chunk it very easily without the proper acceleration through the ball.
Yeah, I've hit that shot. I think I'm a master of that shot. That one in the bunker that you just...
And then there is quite a bit of sand in this bunker, so with you hitting a shot like that, it's probably going to plug too, most likely, leaving you even a more difficult shot after that.
So since this is Pros and Joes, let's go through a little bit about technique, because let's not assume that everybody knows how to hit a bunker shot. So
with this shot, for instance,
you know, how's your weight, ball position?
This one I'm using a 60 degree.
Okay.
So I'm playing it as though it's somewhat of a closer greenside bunker shot, but with a lot of acceleration through the ball. I'm going to set up left to my target a little bit, open up my hips and my stance. I'm going to open up the club face to be aimed at the target. And I'm going to take it outside and accelerate inside. So I've got a path cutting across the ball as such. I'm trying to enter roughly 1 inch to 2 inches behind the ball. And take about a dollar bill sized divot is kind of the concept behind it. So keeping it really simple, just setting up left, opening up the face, taking the club face out, and accelerating left through the ball, which gives it the height.
Wow, that's really good. Those are both putts that you're going to make. Those are inside of your short putt comfort circle.
And even with it, I mean, I'm happy anywhere on the green from this lie for sure. This is a lie that even a pro golfer will take 3 shots from here and be very happy with. So you got to keep that in mind. You're just trying to get out of a situation that can compound your error by just hitting the smart shot, which is definitely flying it to at least the pin and letting it roll past, staying on the green. If you try and get cute with it, I mean, if you land short in that sandy stuff right there, the odds of getting that up and down are very tough because you can see that it's some grain coming in. You're probably going to chunk that shot as well. So no matter what, you want to make sure to get it to the pin at least. And that's one thing that most amateurs, they're trying to get the shot up and down, not realizing by trying to play it that way, they're going to make a much worse score than if they play the smart shot. And by doing that, time after time, you're going to really lower your scores over the 18 holes.
Yeah, there's so much wisdom in that. Because even if you... I mean, if you landed it short, if you landed it up on that hill, even if you landed on that dormant grass, short-sided, now you got a really sensitive, chunky chip because there's thick grass, there's rough on the other side of that, so it's no picnic.
Yeah, no, I don't even think landing it there. I mean, it might even stop. You know, I don't think there's really any play besides flying it to the pin. And by doing that, off these lies, as you can see when it sits down, well, that one didn't, but any other lie that's sitting down, you can't get on that ball and stop this by laying it on that green. It's impossible.
Yeah, you can't get enough spin.
If you hit the shot that lands on the green, and that's as good as I could have hit that, and it's still going...
So it's right at the back of the green.
But that was hit very, very well.
No, that obviously you're an accomplished player, right? If I tried that, I could skull it into the tee box on the other side.
You're getting real close to that ball that it's really close to the leading edge that could thin it. And with that brings in the lip of the bunker right here and also long, more so than if you play the bunker shot. I would never try and actually play that shot and just hit right there. Because that was as good as I could have hit it and it barely stayed on the green at that point.
Should I try one?
Yeah, let's see it.
Let's try one. I don't know. This is risky.
So try one. Let's show everybody. Try one without just a normal shot, like you're just trying to hit the ball. Ball first. See, that was a really, really good shot. The contact was solid.
But it's on the back fringe.
Yeah. And you hit that about as...
No, I hit that
from that line.
I hit that crispy. I hit that crispy. Oh, see.
But see, now it's sitting down.
Now that's a really
now
really
this is a good one
lie.
to play that bunker shot.
Now, all right, so open it up. Couple
The
inches
key is just to
behind.
accelerate through. Always commit to the shot, because if you decel with that leading edge, with how this ground is, the impact, it's definitely going to chunk it.
Yeah, I chunked that one. I think I hit the ball.
That one was definitely a little close to the ball there.
Little flying too close to the sun. So to get, so then, my buddy Ken Chase, he always tells me to observe, critique, and adjust. So for me, I probably have to move the ball a little bit more forward in my stance.
Yeah.
Because I caught ball, I caught it clean, so I got to move that a little bit further forward. Now you say come a little out, little chunk, little.
There we go. And see
Hey, that had a
spin?
lot of spin.
Yeah, I mean, that thing bounced left and spun. It stopped. So
Wow.
it creates a lot more spin out of that lie, because if you're hitting a shot with the square face out of this lie, you're not going to create that spin. And that's the nice thing about this shot, is by creating that spin, you have more margin of error to work with, because the ball's going to stop much quicker.
So probably if I'm going to err, I'd want to err a little bit more forward in my stance than back, because if I get it too far back, I'm catching the ball and then hit that scully one that I hit.
Correct.
I was trying to hit the mower guy that gave us a hard time earlier.
Yeah, you definitely don't want it too far back with this type of a shot.
All right. Wow. Well, thanks, Tyler. That is a great shot that I'm going to use. I might even have to use it today in my men's game for us, us Joes. Any other? Oh, I got one. I got a question. Like, what if I was that guy and I tried to get cute and I just left myself with that short-sided? That actually rolled back pretty good. What would you say? Is there a stock shot for that? Like if you're close against the lip, you got any shots for that?
In terms of if your ball's up against the lip,
yeah,
right
like
there?
say that first pin, I'm like short-sided. I hit that scully one, right? It didn't. Well, that's set up. We'll make a few different scenarios. Maybe come down here and look at a couple other ones. Maybe you can give us some tips on that. Maybe. I'm trying to get one to spin back.
It's hard to get the spin out of this line.
It is hard to get that. There we go. I mean, all right, now frosted.
I mean, like I said, that shot is just as difficult as this shot too, because for the most amateurs, because of the fact that it's feeding away, you've got all that rough that's going to catch the ball, so you got to fly it to the pin. But the thing is, it's all running away, so out of that lie, they're typically not going to get much spin as well. So it's going to leave you a tough shot, so we definitely don't want to be there. But if we are there, that's something that you want to not compound your error even more and just get it out on the green. Make sure you two-putt from there.
Yeah, let's check that one out. You got time?
Yeah.
So I noticed something about this. This sand is really, really
compact
wet.
and wet.
It's compact
well,
and wet.
Well, this is super firm right here.
Is this the kind of sand that? Is this the kind of sand that you see on the Korn Ferry tour?
Not exactly.
Well, oh, let's see. All right.